Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our translation lessons. Today we're going to be learning Quran translation, and I'll just quickly share the presentation today. So alhamdulillah, today we're on lesson 5 of our Quran translation, English and Urdu, and understanding the different verses of the lessons that we are going to study from. So let's see what verses we're going to study from today. They're from chapter 2, verses 80 to 82. So as usual, we'll go through the background of the verses that we are going to study before we go into the translation. So I'll just go through that first. So in verse 80, which is the first verse which we're going to do, and we're continuing with the lessons of the Holy Quran, and we are talking about the different types of Jews who were transgressing against the Muslims during that time. And one of the things which we're going to learn in verse 80 is that the Jews who composed books or parts thereof and they then gave them out, this was a malpractice which was common among the Jews and other peoples. Therefore, in addition to the canonical books of the Bible, there are a number of books which are supposed to be revealed, so that it has now become impossible to distinguish the revealed books from the revealed. Another malpractice of the Jews was that they distorted the meaning of the divine word. They themselves wrote a whole book or part thereof and declared it to be based on biblical evidence, while as a matter of fact it was opposed to this evidence. Those responsible for this were responsible not only for their own misdeeds, namely fabricating and distorting the word of God, but also for the misdeeds of their followers, who were led by their example to commit one or all of the following acts. 1. Tampering the word of God. 2. Preferring worldliness to religion. And 3. Following their own vain desires and false notions. In the second verse, which is 82, Allah speaks about the root cause of their arrogance and hard-heartedness. The Jews, they thought they were immune from punishment. Or if they will all be punished, then the punishment will be very slight. It is recorded that at the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, a section of the Jews thought that the punishment of the Jews would only last no more than 40 days. Other regarded even this to be too long and reduced it to 7 days. And as for the modern Jews, Sale says, it is a received opinion among the Jews at present that no person from among the Jews, be he ever so wicked or of whatever sect, shall remain in hell above 11 months, or at most a year, except Dathan and Ibiram and atheists from among the Jews, who will be tormented there to all eternity. So here we have different thoughts and thinkings of the Jews, and we're talking about their punishment, and they think because they are the chosen people, they didn't regard this punishment as a big thing. It wasn't going to last very long, so they were able to behave in an arrogant way. But we see that this is not the case, and the Quran specifically says that, talks about the Jews not being the chosen people, and we'll understand more in the next verse, which is 82, and which talks about heaven and hell and punishment, because we're talking about the Jews behaving this way. So the Quran then addresses the aspect of punishment, and the Jews, they based their claim on the fact that they were a chosen people of God and being descendant from prophets. But the Quran strongly repudiates this idea, saying that hell and heaven have not been earmarked for any race. The entry of man into hell or heaven depends on what belief he holds and what actions he performs in this world. If a man holds wrong beliefs and performs sinful deeds, he will go to hell, irrespective of the fact whether he is a Jew or a Christian or anybody. And so this is the difference between the Jews and when Islam came, and Islam told the world that it's not hell or heaven isn't just for specific people. It's purely based upon the actions that the person does and his beliefs also. And so that's why the Jews felt very almost offended when the Quran came, which is why the Quran is universal and it's for all people. Whereas with the Jews, they believe it was only for them. Their beliefs was only for them, and they are the chosen people, and they will ultimately be the ones in heaven, and everyone else will suffer. But then when Islam came, it really opened the door for everyone to understand that they were all capable of going to heaven, but it will always be based on your actions and beliefs. So now let's go to the recitation of the verses that we are going to do, and then inshallah we'll break this down into the split word translation and try to understand each word and then put it all together and understand the translation. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فويل للذين يكتبون الكتاب بأيديهم ثم يقولون هذا من عند الله ليشتروا به ثمنا قليلا فويل لهم مما كسبت أيديهم وويل لهم مما يكسبون وقالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودة قل اتخذتم عند الله عهدا فلن يخلف الله عهده أم تقولون على الله ما لا تعلمون بلى من كسب سيئة وأحاطت به خطيئته فأولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. Now we'll just go through the split word translation of these verses. فَوَيْلٌ, so woe, لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ, لِلَّذِينَ, to those who, يَكْتُبُونَ, they write. فَوَيْلٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَكْتُبُونَ, woe therefore to those who write. Al-Kitaba, the book, بِأَيْدِيهِمْ, with their hands. ثم, then, يقولون, they say, هذا, this, min, from, عند الله, from Allah, ليشتروا به, li, for, يشتروا, they buy, به, with it, ثمنا, a price, قليلا, a paltry or a little price. So woe therefore to those who write the book with their own hands and then say, this is from Allah, that they may take for it a paltry price. Fa, so, wailul lahum, woe for them, mimma, from what, katabat, she wrote, aydihim, their hands. Woe then to them for what their hands have written, wa wailul lahum, and woe to them for what they earn. Wa wailul lahum, and wailun, woe, lahum, for them, mimma, from what, yaksibun, they earn, and woe to them for what they earn. وقالوا, and they said, lan, never, tamassana, tamassa, she touched, na, us, lan tamassana, she never touched, or she will never touch, an-naru, the fire. So the fire will never touch or shall not touch us, illa, except ayaman, days, ma'dudatan, limited. The fire shall not touch us except for a number or a limited number of days. Qul, say, attakhadhtum, have you taken indallahi, Allah, inda, from Allah, Allah, ahdan, a promise, falan, then never, yukhlifa, he will break, and he will never break, Allah, ahdahu, his promise. Or taquluna, you say, ala Allahi, upon Allah, ma la ta'lamun, ma, What? La, not ta'lamun, you know. Bala, a man whoso kasaba sayyi'atan, he earned evil, wa and ahatat bihi, encompassed with it, by his khati'atahu, his sins. Fa, so ulaika, those are ashabun nar, the inmates of fire, whom they fiha, in it khalidun, they shall abide. Those are the inmates of fire, therein shall they abide. اب اردو کی ترجمہ یہ میر محمد اسحاق صاحب کی ترجمہ ہے. فویل، پس ہلاکت ہے، للذین، واسطے ان لوگوں کے، یکتبون، جو لکھتے ہیں، الکتاب، کتاب کو، بِأَیْدِیہم، اپنے ہاتھوں سے، ثم یقولون، پھر کہتے ہیں، ھذا من عند اللہ، یہ کتاب اللہ کی طرف سے ہے، لیشتروا بہ، تاکہ خریدیں بدلے میں اس کے، ثمناً مول، قلیلاً تھوڑا، فویل لہم، پس ہلاکت ہے واسطے ان کے، مما کتبت، اس کے جو لکھا، ایدیہم، ان کے ہاتھوں نے، وویل، اور ہلاکت ہے، لہم، واسطے ان کے، مما یکسبون، بسبب اس کے جو کماتے رہے وہ. وقالو، اور انہوں نے کہا، لن تمسنا النار، لن تمسنا، نہیں چھوئیں گی، النار، ہم کو آگ، الا، مگر، ایامن، دن، معدودتاً، گنتی کے، کل، تو کہہ دے، اتخذتم عند اللہ، کیا لیا ہوا ہے تم نے اللہ کے پاس، عہداً، کوئی عہد، فلن، تب تو ہرگز نہیں، یخلف، خلاف کرے گا، اللہ، اللہ، عہدہ، اپنے عہد کے، ام تقولون، یا کہتے ہیں تم، علی اللہ، اللہ پر، ما لا تعلمون، جو نہیں تم جانتے. بلا من کسب سیئۃ واحاطت به، بلا، کیوں نہیں، من کسب، جس نے کمائی، سیئۃً، برائی، واحاطت، اور گھیر لیا اس کو، بھی، اس کی، خطیئتہ، خطیئتہ، خطاؤں نے، فاولئک، سو یہ لوگ، اصحاب النار، آگ والے ہیں، ہم فیہا، وہ اس میں، خالدون، رہ پڑنے والے ہیں. So now we'll just do the quick hard words, both in English and Urdu, just to revise over the hard words. And it's good to always make a list of the hard words because these come again and again. So once you've learned them, it becomes easy afterwards. Yaktubuna, wo likhte hain, they write. AD, hands, the plural of yadun, which is hand. So AD is hands. Yashtaru, they take or they buy. وہ خریدیں، بھی، اس کے ذریعے، for it، کتبت، لکھا، wrote in the past tense، یکسبون، they earn، وہ کماتے ہیں، لن تمس، shall never touch، ہرگز نہ چھوئیں گی، ایامن، days، معدودتاً، numbered، Kul, say، لن يخلف، he will never break. تقولون، تم کہتے ہیں، you say، بلا، ہاں، کیوں نہیں، yes، no doubt، کسب، اس نے کمایا، he earned، سیئۃً، بدی، برائی، evil، احاطت، has encompassed or surrounded، خطیئتہ، his sins or his wrongdoings. So these were the explanations of the verses 80 to 82, and with the translation and the commentary of the verses. Jazakumullah and Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.